Hi everyone, Empress Justice here, aka Fabian Deacon TI. If you'd like to check out daily readings, you can check them out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can also check out my lunar readings on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. They are also on Empress Justice Tarot Instagram, but they're much easier to get to on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. Um, yeah, I also do essays occasionally. So if you'd like to check all that out, you can go on Empress Justice Tarot Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, so update on me as a targeted individual. Um, Nothing has really taken place. It's been pretty quiet. Um, I have been dissociating a lot though. And the reason why I usually dissociate is usually because I'm bored or because I'm too comfortable. So it might be time for me to find like more diverse interests outside my flat as well as in. And I am trying to get better with the cleaning, with the housework and stuff like that. Got my laundry in there, as you can hear. So things have been pretty mellow. They've been very, very quiet. I really feel like what's probably happening now is that everybody is hoping that everything that's happened over the last few months is just going to blow over. But unfortunately, this is gang stalking. Just because it goes through a quiet phase, it doesn't mean that anything is going to blow over. And I know that. So for me, whilst I'm healthy enough to do something about my situation, I'm going to do it. In the meantime, I do get electronic harassment. I'm getting attacked on my head right now. I get attacked on my feet a lot. I have been attacked in the heart, which explains the blue lip situation. So if you get attacked in your heart, it cuts off a certain amount of oxygen to your body. So yeah, I've been attacked in the heart a lot, in the chest a lot. I've been attacked in the sides, like back here, a lot. I don't know if that's where the kidneys are, but there are times where it can get extremely painful. So I'm going through all of that. Yeah, I do go through electronic harassment, but I don't really talk about it because the emotional and psychological stuff, it takes up so much of my brain. The mental anguish is how these particular gang stalkers get me. They get me through emotional anguish. They don't get me through they don't get me through the physical stuff, because the physical stuff I can't really control, so I'm less likely to stress myself out over that. And when you're physically limited, the boundaries are much clearer. They're much clearer and they're much more workable when stuff is physical. So the psychological stuff is usually how they get me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when it comes to psychological stuff, because of the way your body responds to emotions and because of how everybody else responds to emotions, the boundaries are really not that clear. So that's actually the easiest way to traumatize me, is through the mental stuff. It's not through the physical stuff. The physical stuff I can handle, but the mental stuff is what leaves the most impact on me because of the lack of clear boundaries that are there. So I feel like for the gang stalkers to kind of wait for everything to blow over is kind of redundant. If this is a lifetime thing that these people have got me on, then what is about to blow over? What is about to blow over? Unless you're going to end the gang stalking in my life, and not even just in my life, unless you're going to end the gang stalking for every single person that everybody knows is a victim and not a perpetrator, unless they're going to end it for those people, there's no point talking about anything blowing over. There's no point even thinking about anything blowing over. If that's not going to blow over, then I'm not going to calm down. It's as simple as that. It's just that right now, I'm focused on my work. I'm focused on my research. I'm focused on studying. I'm focused on doing all these things that I need to do in order to prepare for when I eventually do get sick, because that's how these weapons work. I need to put plans in place for when these weapons eventually make me sick in a way that I can't control anymore. I have to have those objectives in place for when I finally do get sick or when I finally do die because of what these people have done. So I have to think about the long-term objectives with that. And then I also have to think, lay stuff in place in case I'm homeless again. So I have to think about all these things whilst I'm thinking about, what these people are doing from day to day. So I have to think about the long-term objectives, because at the end of the day, even if I wasn't being gang stalked, I would still get sick, I would still die, I could still come across, come a financial cropper. So it's important for me to prepare for these things. This is what I'm focused on a deep seated level. I'm focused on building a foundation upon which I can rest, regardless of what happens to me. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on trying to fucking, get revenge for shit or, anything like that. That's the truth of the matter. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on a long-term objective. Now, if people get in my way, then sure. They get in my way, then sure. But other than that, as long as nobody's in my way, and as long as nobody's, but the thing is, it's gang stalking. People are always going to be in the way. So I have to make sure that if people are going to get in the way, they get blasted. And that means having a proper plan in place economically and legally, and making sure that I'm on my P's and Q's. So as much as I might come online and talk about my neighbors, the truth of the matter is that most of the time I'm not focused on them. It's just that they focus on themselves, focusing on me, and then I end up talking about it to people who might listen. But then, like, the truth of the matter is that most of the time I'm not thinking about the gang stalkers. I'm thinking about my long-term objectives for when life takes a turn. And I know that even your best laid plans don't work sometimes, but they're going to work for me because listen, I look at it from every possible angle, always. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on trying to stop these people from getting what they want, because they're going to get what they want one way or the other. But I have to make sure that when they do, it benefits me more than it benefits them. And the wonderful thing is that's something they really can't prevent. That's what I love about fatalism. Once you accept your situation, there's nothing there's nothing you can't do from there. There's nothing you can't do. So that's what I'm doing. Right now I'm doing some research. This is one of the books that I'm reading. I shouldn't show you guys the books. Should I show you guys the books that I'm reading? I'll show you one book I'm reading. Hang on. Because I'm copying off another book. I'm not going to show you that one, but I'm going to show you one of the books that I'm reading. Right? I've been reading this. It's called The Gift by Edith Eger. She was a Holocaust survivor. And I feel like for TIs in general, this is a really good book to read. Now, because she's worked with people like Oprah and like really high profile people, I know that TI circles will probably distrust it. But believe me when I say that there is really great advice in this book about how to handle whatever life throws at you. Anything can be overcome if you know how to do it right, and if you know how to get yourself to the level you want to be at. Okay. So that's one of the books. That's just one of the books that I've been reading right now. I read a lot of books every day. And I read a lot of books. So that's one of the books that I'm reading right now. And for me, it's about I think part of the feminine path, especially, but I think this is part of the path if you're marginalized as well. I think part of our path is acceptance. I feel like TIs go through so much pain. And when you're going through pain, like being electronically harassed and psychologically harassed, and and you've got people turning against you, and you're isolated, and you're being financially abused, and everything's going to shit. You're being kept just a little bit off center, like so that you can be more controllable. It's easy to kind of get lost in that pain, and whilst you're getting lost in that pain, you're begging for someone to save you, or hoping onto the hope that somebody will save you from it, and that somebody will just step in and be like, no, enough, this person's been through enough. We don't want them going through anymore. I feel like the reason why so many TIs are so angry and frustrated is not just because of the pain. It's because of two things. The first thing is that there's at a subconscious level, because it's their bodies feeling the pain, there's a certain amount of self-blame going on that they're fighting. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they still believe that this world is fair. They still believe that this world is honest. They still hold on to hope and optimism. There was a philosopher called Seneca who was around during the Roman Empire. I forget which Roman Caesar he was advising. But Seneca believed in the benefits of pessimism. And he noted that the more optimistic someone is, the more they hold on to this ideal that the world is fair and that certain laws are put in place to protect us, is the angrier we get when these things don't materialize. I've learned to accept that the law in the first place was made to protect property. It was never meant to protect people. It was meant to settle property disputes. It was meant to settle ownership disputes. It was never about human rights. It was never about human rights. It was always about property. That's A. B, the law is being overseen, maintained, and reinforced by other human beings. At some point, something's got to give, and somebody somewhere along the line will use and abuse that law in order to gain power, because we're all human. So part of accepting is kind of knowing that, understanding the humanness inherent in every one of us, and understanding that that humanness is why we are going through this. Human beings will always choose the least line of resistance, and they will always seek safety on a primal level. What we all want to be is safe, and you'd be surprised at what people are willing to sacrifice just to feel safe, including their morals, including their integrity. And accepting that about human beings, it actually makes the targeting easier to deal with, because you accept the way human beings are, and you accept that they probably might never change. The first thing towards liberating yourself is to actually stop having faith in humanity. And I know it sounds like, oh, well, I have to have hope in something. No, that hope is keeping you angry. It's keeping you angry. It's keeping you frustrated. And hope, rather than certainty, it means that doubt is still there. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let go of hope. If you're a TI, I know you want somebody to save you. Like, that is only natural. When you're going through that much fucking pain, that you want to hold on to hope that somebody or something will save you, that something will get you out of this. But you have to see the world for what it is first. If you're going to honestly find a solution to problems revolved around gang stalking, you have to see the world exactly as it is and accept it exactly as it is, and find ways to move through that in order to get what we want. Become pliable rather than trying to take on this TI shit or gang stalking shit head on. We have to accept that human beings are not going to be open to we're not going to be open to the truth. We are never open to the truth, because the truth doesn't take sides. And we want somebody to take our side so that we don't think we're crazy. So I feel that acceptance when it comes to being a TI is absolutely crucial. And if it involves pessimism, if it involves believing the very worst in humanity, if it involves letting go of hope, that is what the fuck you do. You let go of hope. Letting go of hope is the only reason why I've been even remotely able to function. I had to be cynical as fuck. I let go of hope, and that was literally the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I'm studying, I'm doing Empress Justice Tarot, I've got another business interest on the side, my singing's getting better. All of this happened because I stopped holding on to hope. And I accepted my own human nature. I accepted the frailty of my own human nature and the frailty of other people's human nature. That's what's getting me through. It's not hope. It's not hope at all. It's acceptance and awareness. So this ain't going to stop. It's not going to blow over. This is an abuse. This is a lifetime of abuse. And abuse has cycles. Right now, I'm at the quiet stage, which means things are going to be quieter. There's going to be more spying than taunting. There's going to be more spying than taunting. There's going to be more feeding back of information just to see where people can take this gang stalking shit next, because that is what always happens. And if the gang stalking isn't going to stop, then I'm not going to stop. And I'm going to have cycles of my own. So, anyway, I have to go. I've got some research to do. Well, I'm not actually researching, I'm just studying, really. So I've got some more studying to do. I've already done my readings for the day. When it comes to the full moon, it's not the full moon, it's the second new moon reading. When it comes to that, what I'm going to do is I am going to resume the lunar readings on the 22nd. So the 22nd, that's the day before the third quarter moon. Where's that third quarter moon actually? Where is it? So that's the day before the third quarter moon in Uttara Ashara. So I'm going to do that new moon in Barani reading on the 22nd of April, just in time for the 23rd and just in time for the full moon on the 30th. So I'm going to be doing that next week. Let me see what date the 22nd is. Oh shit, no, I'm not doing it on the 22nd. On some real shit, I'm probably going to do it tomorrow. So I'm going to do the, what I call it then? I'm going to do the new moon in Barony. I'm going to do the new moon in Barony reading tomorrow. And that's going to include a reading for the third quarter, which takes place on the 23rd. The full moon takes place on the 30th. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So yeah, 11 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to be doing that reading. I'll leave the links tomorrow to catch that live at 11 GMT. Oh no, it's British summertime, 11 British summertime. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, that's, I guess that about sums it up. So thank you very much, you guys, for being with me. Take care. I hope my rambling made sense. Of course, I never know until I watch the videos again, because you know how this Havana syndrome kicks in and how it fucking affects your brain and affects your speech and cognitive abilities and shit. You know the drill. You know the drill. You know the drill. I'm hoping that, you know, I'm hoping that I made sense anyway. So I love you, my fellow TIs. You guys take care. I love you. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.